So his whole thing was like, let's go to a mall, me and 20 of my closest friends, and let's have AKs and just say that we're peaceful protesting.
Jake Paul, his house in Calabasas was raided by the FBI, tied to disturbance at a shopping mall. So the FBI they brought SWAT team members to his house on Wednesday. There were guns right here. The FBI is executing a federal search warrant at a residence in Calabasas in connection with an ongoing investigation. The affidavit in support of the search warrant has been sealed by a judge, and I am therefore prohibited from commenting as to the nature of the investigation. No arrests are planned, an FBI representative said in statement. Now, the really funny thing about this thing is it's Jake Paul's house, and being a YouTuber and being in the spotlight and having so many fans, I saw pictures all over the internet of his backyard with looked like high-power rifle leaned up against a jacuzzi. So, like, it's...
Yeah.
What are they doing with high-powered rifles and a jacuzzi? That just sounds like a bad idea.
Hey, man, sometimes you can't find the bottle opener.
So Jake Paul has...
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
It's just in a hot tub. There's like a couple people around. It's like, oh, we can't open our Modelo's because we can't drink Corona right now. And he's like, I got you, bro. And then he just points the gun in it.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
I was thinking more of they were trying to come up because they've run out of ideas, like for videos, and like, what could we do next? Let's
shoot myself in a jacuzzi.
That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Oh, that's a bad idea.
I thought they were doing what Jake wanted to do. I thought they were doing what Jake wanted to do and just get rid of all the dogs and the coyotes and...
Oh, they were just hunting. They were going back to the Flintstone days, Steve. I think that's probably accurate. That's just what they were doing.
That's good. I'm for them. Jake Paul's a buddy of mine.
Jake, except for he's not. So Jake Paul...
We got a little squadron. Yeah, Jake and Jake. We got a new TV show coming out on Showtime.
Yeah, it would definitely be a Showtime show now.
It would be on Showtime.
Yeah, or maybe a Netflix original. But okay, so...
Or like Freeform.
So the Jake Paul came out and he tweeted, and he said, to be absolutely clear, neither I nor anyone in our group was engaged in any looting or vandalism. For context, we spent the day doing our part to peacefully protest one of the most horrific injustices our country has ever seen, which led to us being tear gassed for filming the events and brutality that were unfolding in Arizona. We were gassed and forced to keep moving on foot. We filmed everything we saw in an effort to share our experience and bring more attention to the anger felt in every neighborhood we traveled through. We were strictly documenting, not engaging. I do not condone violence, looting, or breaking the law. However, I understand the anger and frustration that led to the destruction we witnessed, and while it's not the... And then it cuts off because it's a tweet. So, what were you going to say?
We've seen this man just beat the snot out of other people online.
Yeah,
and he's saying that I don't stand for violence.
He has to
press secretary.
No, he has to say that. Like, he has to come out and say this because of what's happening.
Everybody feel fuzzy inside.
Yeah, and he was going to be the next Trader Joe's spokesperson. So he's got to keep it clean.
So his whole thing was like, let's go to a mall, me and 20 of my closest friends, and let's have AKs and just say that we're peaceful protesting?
No, they didn't. So back up. The story about Jake going to a protest thing, they went to Arizona to see it. They didn't take weapons, but there were rumors of what happened there, and then they investigated Jake Paul because he documented it, and then he was sharing it, I guess, on his channel or something like that.
Interesting.
So there's just a connection.
All I had seen from this story before the episode was that there was suspicion that Jake Paul had many guns, let alone to necessitate an entire rack, a whole gun rack, right? But like he had been showing them on his social media, like he had been just like, yo, check out my Glock, like all that crazy stuff, right?
Right.
There's just a YouTube video. This is kind of a sidebar. There's this YouTube video of this guy just driving around the streets of Chicago holding a gun up out. He's like filming the whole thing, and he just holds a gun up and he calls it checking people's peace. And he does it to see if somebody in the car next to them is going to pull out their gun and show it to them. And the whole thing, if he sees a gun, he goes, it's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank. It's like, how is that a prank? It's
and how
a prank?
And how do you know that somebody's not just going to pull it out and cap one off and you like, that's dumb.
Exactly. That's a funny prank.
No, it's not. It's not a funny prank. Oh man, but yeah,
I don't get it. It's not a prank, but like anyway, it's this cool thing to get like clout or whatever by showing your gun online.
Yeah,
and like now because of that, obviously the NRA is just going to be like, oh, Jake Paul has like 40 assault rifles. Let's go to his house while he's out of town. Like,
right.
That just makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and it's
you go where the robbers at.
Well, and yeah, you go where the smoke is coming from, basically, and you say, hey, what's going on? So they know they was connected.
And it's Jake Paul's garage.
And it's Jake Paul's garage is where the smoke is coming from. Absolutely. But it's just
called the Armory.
Jake Paul's Armory.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, watch out.
Like the big problem is he had guns that were illegal to have in California. He had guns that were not California legal, and that's a problem.
Like an Uzi?
Yeah, I think it was more like an AR-15 that has the adjusted clip or something where you can bigger mag. I don't know. I'm not paying attention a lot to it. I just know that Jake Paul's in trouble. He got busted because that's just what Jake Paul does.
I have a friend that's in the Marine Corps, and I will not say names just for the sake of the fact that I know that he has this weapon, but he has a gun, right? Like he's a Marine, right? And so like you do. And so he has an assault rifle, and he was like showing it to me when I went over to his house one time. And he said the only thing that makes this gun illegal in the state of California is the back stock. And he can take that off.
Is it a bump stock?
Yeah, I guess. But like all he has to do is take that stock off, and that gun is just good to be in California.
Yeah. Very
That's
simple.
insane.
The lesson is if you get raided, make sure they're taken apart before the raid comes in.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb.
Exactly. Hey, Steve, how about this idea? No ARs.
Yeah.
What?
No ARs at all, like ever?
I mean, the military.
What if you're against the military?
We're not gonna get into this whole like mountain men conversation.
Yeah,
because you know I'm for that. Like, guys, believe me, I'm the guy that's on the show that's like, clean your guns, keep them at home,
right?
Stay safe, right? All I'm saying is that we don't need a bunch of ARs. You could do just as much damage at close range with a shotgun.
Well, and there's a whole argument about potentially, like, there's no need for them right now, but there could be potentially.
What's the need?
No, there's no need for them right now. I'm saying, like,
what is the need?
Potentially, if a foreign government were to come in or a foreign military were to come in, and we had to defend from terrorist actions, I could see that needing.
I'm in.
You're right. Then you need it.
Or what about the domestic government that's taking over our society?
Well, but the domestic government is fighting amongst itself. Like that's a whole thing.
Civil War, the movie, the musical too. That's what we gotta do. It's just we're fighting on a battlefield, killing my comrades across the street. Knew him as a neighbor, had a barbecue, but now he's dead. That's our song.
Is that the fight of the Republic of 2020? Thanks for checking out the Trending Stories Taking Over show. If you like that video, make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you know whenever we have a new video and you're aware of any of the live streams when we do a full show. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, on Spotify, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Go to TSTOshow.com, check it out, or watch one of these other videos over here. You're gonna like it. I have a feeling you're gonna love it.